Welcome in, everybody, to Chalkcast episode number 96. We have made it this far. I feel like I've messed up because I'm using studio mode, but I didn't.
Did you get it right?
I did get it right.
One in chat if you did it right. I think you're probably fine.
I think it looks pretty normal. But anyway, welcome to episode number 96. Of course, when we left off our last episode, more big news came out. We were asking for a bunch of info on FIFAe. That stuff happened. Big news happened with another player retiring. No. NA's finished. Why does it keep happening?
This one is a surprise, though. We should just get straight into that.
Our little baby. Our little RC baby.
Yep, Arsenal retiring. Yeah, that one I did not expect. I feel like, haven't we heard about him trying out with teams at some point? I swear I have. I swear I've read that.
Yeah, I think he was trying out. He was in the mix. He was in the bubble.
Yeah, he was in the mix, getting involved in the mixture, and now he's not. So, Arsenal retiring. Didn't expect that at all. Surprise, for sure.
Has he made a YouTube video yet? I know that was.
Yeah, he did. He did tweet. He was like, "I'll make a video talking about it." But I mean, did you look? Because I'm about to look if you didn't.
Yeah, silly me just searched Arsenal in YouTube and that did not come up.
Yeah, it doesn't
silly me.
You're like when Twitch hosted Arsenal, or what, they put him on the front page.
Yeah,
they thought he was the football team.
Had the Premier League game. That
he was
iconic.
like, "This ain't soccer." Like, got him.
Yeah. Got him. Yeah, he hasn't made a video on his main channel, but he also does have another channel, so I don't know if he maybe made it on that. But I feel like he would have tweeted it if he made that. So probably not yet. But he said he'll talk about it soon, I guess. So hopefully.
Yeah, I think that's like one of the more surprising ones because I didn't feel like he was, unable to make decent runs in NA. Like he was still making every main event easily. As far as I can remember, he was still, landing on decent teams. Maybe not going to be like winning it, like straight up winning, but. I am surprised that he's retired, but hey, he's also super good at content, so maybe just pivot in, before the end of his career, because some players try and do that too late when it's no longer when they're not as, I guess, hyped anymore. So might be a smart move, actually, if he can do something else really cool.
Yeah, that's the thing though, as well, is because he's still competitive. He's still near the top and stuff, and he's deciding that it's no longer worth it. It could be, a motivational thing, but I think seeing all the announcements and everything that's just been happening with the esport probably is driving. It shouldn't be a surprise, but it probably is driving a lot more players just retire, because you start to think of like, is this even worth it? Is it even worth like the time investment you're putting in, and like. Eventually, you'll have to move on to something else. So why not now when it's kind of at its worst?
And also, if you wait too late, then maybe you're not as relevant anymore. You won't do as well with the next thing. So it's smart probably to not. Well, if you've got something better to do, then you should do the better thing. And yeah, he's been a pro for a long, long time. He was in the original system of RLCS before the open era. So he goes back a long time. He's already one of the, I'd say, he's not like the GOAT tier of NA, but he's a tier below. He's up there in NA historically.
Yeah, and I think he was kind of one of the first to really make LANs, like be hype on LAN and stuff like that. Really just show his personality. He's going to be massively missed in the esports side of things, but it seems like he's still in content. Like YouTube's massive, so he streams as well. And that's kind of why I was a surprise, because he still was playing a lot of ranked and different tournament stuff like that.
Yeah, looked like he was grinding, yeah.
Looked like he's still been grinding, and then he announced it. But I guess it's similar to AJ. Like, he's still nearly grinding more than he did when he announced his retirement, but he's a bit more on the 1v1 side of things. So, yeah, that's... do we need to do the career summary? We did that. While I do this, Rizzo, do you have a story about him shitting on you at some point?
Do I have a story about Arsenal shitting on? No, unfortunately, for the most part with Arsenal, like we didn't. Yeah, I don't have a story of him shitting on me, unfortunately. We played most of our games online. Like, he was breaking out during COVID era, and I was sunsetting. So, realistically, there weren't many cool moments, like lane moments, where he maybe shit talked me across the stage, or I don't know. smacked my McDonald's out of my hands or something like that. So we realistically only had like online beef, I guess. Did I say beef? Because now that I think about it, hold on, guys, I got something.
Wait, have you got one?
Yeah, no, I got something. I thought about something.
Oh yeah,
So
you had something in there.
Yeah, it's something in the tank. It's not as cool as the other ones, I would say, but I think like as that old SSG roster, Typical, Arsenal, and Retals, we were like scrim partners with them, and so basically we just scrimmed every day for like an hour. They were like our guaranteed scrim, basically every day.
Mm-hmm.
And there are so many times where, you know, I like to demo. I like to bump. The other team likes to bump as well. So there are times where, like, I would get a bump on Arsenal, Retals, whatever, but then the other two would just start chasing me.
So they were the
on
problem.
multiple occasions. Well, probably not. I probably did it too, to be real. Like, I'm not gonna act like I wasn't a problem. I was something else. You know, I think everybody kind of trolled in scrims, but actually, believe it or not, the reason we were scrim partners with SSG is because they trolled the least. So even when I say
trolled
that,
the least.
that happened.
I love
that
that.
happened.
I love that's
that
the
happened
metric.
the least amount of times. Yeah. They were the team.
Love that.
They
Yeah,
were one of
that's
the few
metric.
teams where we did not blacklist them as scrim teams for about a week or two, because I think around that time there were a lot of teams that got blacklisted during that
Who's the
COVID era.
worst? Go on, name
I
names.
feel like
It's been-
a long enough time has passed. I feel like you could just leak
a
all
long
of
enough
that now.
time's
No
passed. They're
one's
probably
gonna
not
mind.
even playing anymore. You may as
No
well
one's
just.
gonna be upset.
Who was the worst team to
just
scrim,
get
Rizzo?
Get it out there.
Just-
I think the world wants to know.
Who's the quickest blacklist
I
in
mean,
history?
any team with missed on it was the
Yep,
easiest
there you go.
blacklist of
Throw
all
it out
time.
there.
Yeah, no, just
Okay.
him. Honestly, it wasn't even like, oh, it was this roster. It was just any team with missed.
Was that because of sleeping in or because of trolling? What was the reason for that one?
Was it because of sleeping? No, like there would be a point where like maybe I would get one demo or somebody on our team would get a demo and they would be like, you guys were trolling, and then they would start going off the ceiling every play. And that was like the go-to. You guys were trolling, and then they would start challenging
You
from the
guys
ceiling
were-
nonstop, and then it was like, oh, sorry, we bumped. My bad.
So you demoing
Sorry,
is just
we
they
bumped.
just
Sorry,
think
the
you're
guy
trolling,
who only
really.
knows how to chase cars ended up chasing a car. That's on me.
Yeah, look at that. An apple's an apple. Shoot me. What do you want me to be? An orange?
Sometimes that's the way it be. I'm not gonna act like, you know, I'm innocent. I'm not gonna act like, look, I don't think we trolled scrims as much as other people. Maybe sometimes we went for a silly play every now and then, but you know, I don't think we
silly.
I don't think we trolled as many teams. And also, I was late for a lot of scrims. I'm gonna be honest. So I'll, you know,
Uh-oh.
I can't act like I was the
This
most
sounds
perfect
like
player.
trickle truthing to me. I feel like this is trickle
yeah,
truthing.
we're getting a little bit of the
Yeah.
not truth and a little
No,
bit of
I
We're
mean,
gonna
look,
get
I
some
did not-
truth, and next
no,
week
no,
he's
no.
gonna be like, okay,
They
yeah,
were trying.
I
I
was
rocked up at
okay, I was
5:30.
challenging off the ceiling. I did that as
no,
well.
not 5:30. I only showed up like 2 minutes late at most, but I was late consistently 2 minutes, so it's kind of annoying when you think about it.
And then you weren't warmed up, and then you had to warm up, and then there was like the first game was a write-off, the second game was a write-off. Rizzo whiffs the ball. Wait, he's trolling. Now he's demoing me. I'll stuff this scrim. I give up. That's probably
That's
what
no
happened.
different than the real series, though. So it's what does it matter? Like,
Yeah,
it's not
was it
trolling at
really
that point.
trolling? Because then you pull up on game day and win using the
And I do the
exact
same thing. Oh,
strategy.
he whiffed. Oh, he missed again, and now he's demoing me.
All right, back to Arsenal's career though. Pulled
Oh,
up
right.
Wikipedia. This man, $336,000 US dollars, 337 nearly, career earnings. Starting his career back in the day, 2018 July on the Peeps. No, he wasn't on the DreamHack Montreal Peeps, but back in the day on the Peeps. Then hopped over to SSG, and my man was on SSG for 4.5 years. That's a massive run with those guys. Obviously, your most
That
recently.
is incredibly long for
hopped
one
over to
org.
Dignitas. And
Yeah.
like the SSG, that is that'll forever be one of the most iconic teams.
Mhm.
I guess.
Well, they had a
in-
few. They had a top 4 at Worlds
Well,
with
you know,
VXB and Typical, and they were also like NA1 seed going into playoffs one time with that roster. Then they got rid of VXB for Retals and did really well.
And then we have
so,
the
yeah.
Dan coming in. We've got
Dan came in, yeah, a lot of different
LJ.
SSGs. Yeah, LJ.
LJ
Pretty cool.
Daniel. I mean, there was teams galore going on around there. So, but the main staple, the focal point was Arsenal. Everyone kind of else floated around, and then he stayed there until he wound up on Dignitas for this season.
He had the
And
flu game as well. That was a cool.
He had the flu
thing
game.
The flu
that
game.
happened.
That
Not
was
so cool for him, but
they were
it
the
happened.
story of that Worlds. that wild card at least. With him having the flu, running off stage, going to the bathroom, throwing
I
up,
think it was
stuff
more
like
like
that.
it was more like the vomit game. He was just sick, so yeah, it wasn't ideal for him, but they did win, which is great resilience on his part.
Yep,
And then
big
he decided
pioneers.
to just pop off on YouTube during the free to play.
He had one of the biggest, like his first 5 videos just went like 6 figures straight away, and he just, I think he would have to be the quickest Rocket League YouTuber to 100k subs. I just remember how
probably
I don't know if it was the algorithm. Maybe they thought he was the Arsenal Football Club again because YouTube just absolutely pumped.
His content was perfect for the free to play audience, and it still is really. I mean, he's super entertaining for a start. So yeah, it's just no surprise that he became massive on socials. But what's your most iconic play? One play comes to mind, and I'm gonna try and find it for you guys. Where when you think about Arsenal, he had the
when he just pieced them all up from the back corner.
Oh, I don't think that's what I'm thinking of. But I want to see that. But I was thinking of one where he just stood still. Because I was thinking used to be like, I'm just gonna look at him, and he just like didn't do anything. Just sit
I know
still.
exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
You know the one where he just sat still with like completely faked someone out. Yeah, I think it was in the grid. Against.
It was like Sathu.
I don't remember the team. Was it against Sathu? And it was on Beckwith Park, I think.
Is that the one I'm thinking of? Where he's like in the back left corner and he just like sits
and then he
there
air dribbled out. He like air dribbles it in to finish off the play. It was insane. Sonics versus Sonics. Yeah, I was there. I was casting that. That's why I remember it so vividly.
Johnny was there.
I forgot the team. But yeah, this is like the craziest Arsenal play. I need to find this for you. This is a nasty fake. I'm gonna look. Well, I found it. I just searched Arsenal fake on Reddit, and there it is. All right, I'll send it. Our producer might be able to get that on screen for you guys at some point.
Okay, he's gonna be working overtime, locked in. So
I don't think I can put links in chat. You'll have to. Our producer might be able to put that in chat for you guys who want to click on it ahead of time as well. But you definitely, if you're listening to the audio here, you're gonna want to go find that link. It's a sick fake.
I'll drop it in there while the producer works on. I mean, it's just the amount of brain power that it does take for this man to get a video on the screen is nothing
It
short of incredible.
Sathu, bro. He just rinsed Sathu.
He rinsed Sathu.
Oh, he rinsed the whole team, to be honest. J-Ross, Shock, and Sathu just got absolutely ruined.
Yeah, he's all about the mind games. He's won, and he's really took over from Rizzo, I'd say, with a bit more of the physicality play in the threes as well. He certainly loves his off-ball plays, looking for bumps, just trying to be a bit more of the brain, the mind, just mind games, I guess, in 3. So
production has it ready.
Pretty iconic. Oh, production. Yep.
Let's click the button and hope nothing breaks.
We are eagerly waiting.
And there we are, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully this doesn't look like it's 3 FPS.
Watching on delay. Yeah, this is one thing as well. He starts in the back corner. I'm just going to look at him.
I'm just going to look at him. Oh, and then just a terrible save attempt from Sathu too. You got to give it credit.
It makes them look so bad. It's an ugly air dribble as well, but it's...
Oh, brother.
That's just a beautiful goal. Yeah, that's one of my favorite goals that I've ever seen. It's just so cool. He just looks at him. That play just for me is what Arsenal should be remembered for.
We need the cast. Should I play the cast? I went production went no audio for some reason.
Okay. Dash recovery, pops the shot over with an early dodge. Pops pass over the early dodge rather. Oh my goodness, Arsenal. He does not care about your shenanigans, J-Ross. Smells right.
Oh my goodness!
That's disgusting.
Please, somebody on my stream clip that with the player cam involved.
Please clip
that. Nasty.
Oh, I've never seen such a disrespectful goal.
The fact that he just dusts them and then dusts them again.
I remember as well, the other crazy thing about this, so this clip did come from Smellsworth's stream. We were co-streaming this for the grid for SSG. And his thing that he would do in his stream, I would switch POVs, but he would do a specific POV of one player every game. So it was a cool way to tune into one player, just watch the game from their eyes. And he happened to be on Arsenal's POV when this happened, which is just amazing. So we had that just ready to go.
I'm just gonna look at him. Yeah, he's iconic moments, not on and off the pitch as well. Obviously, he's one of the best characters in the scene.
Yeah.
and he's just an absolute legend off the pitch as well. So he will
It's
be
good
missed
vibes.
around the esport. Yeah, just
I
great
hope,
vibes.
yeah, I hope see him at
Quite a
events
lot.
still because he's like good vibes. I love running into him at events. One of my favorite people to just like randomly pass by and say hi to because
Yep.
he's just great vibes.
He
Always
still was at
love running
events when
into
he
him.
wasn't
Yeah,
qualifying. So
yeah. We
hopefully
saw
he
it
keeps
this
doing
year.
that. Yeah, hopefully he keeps that up. Yeah, he will be missed. Another massive, I guess, thing that happened, which I couldn't stop laughing at, was we joked about it. Well, this is like the Arsenal thing as well, Rizzo. We joked how every time we upload a video, then something else drops. And I feel like an hour after we finished our
Yeah.
stream, the FIFAe World Cup rosters
Yeah.
just drop instantly.
Yep.
Entire lineup, which would have been nice to have last week. But people have had time now, nearly a week to digest.
All good.
Should we go have a quick look through the lineups? We've already kind of talked about them.
Wasn't there
off-stream,
before? So
sure.
before we get into the rosters, I swear, didn't somebody like tweet or say on a stream that they were like looking forward to like announcing their roster? They didn't know that FIFA, you were just going to drop all the rosters. Who was that?
Yeah,
Somebody
I
no,
else?
that
see
was
it.
England.
Was it
That was Jeff. It was Jeff. He was going to fly them all. He had them all in person for a shoot, and then they just
Wait,
dropped
did he
the
actually?
rosters.
Did they still do the
Yeah.
shoot? Or were they like, never
don't
mind,
know.
don't even bother getting on the plane?
Let me find the
Already been
tweet. Yeah, he was like, "Oh, that's nice. Well, that's good. I guess I'm not
It's
gonna."
so funny.
Okay, I guess we're not doing a big announcement.
Because yeah, France obviously did their big video thing with Monkey Moon, Vatira Zen. And that was pretty cool. They did a whole intro video announcing the team. And England, I guess, were like looking at that like, oh man, we should do that as well. And they got the flights already.
He tweeted the England team is booked to come to Wembley, like Wembley Stadium next week
They're
for the
gonna go to
announcement.
Wembley.
Got no heads up that the teams will be posted today. Going live on Twitch.
I feel like you can still turn that into something cool, even if it's not an announcement
Yeah.
of the roster. So it's not the end of the world. I hope they've still gone ahead with it, but that's funny.
Yeah,
That
they're
they
still
didn't
doing
know.
it. So looking forward to that announcement.
But anyway, yeah, teams. We can talk about the teams because they've announced all the teams, and some of them are exactly what we expected. Some of them are a bit unknown. I reckon, yeah. Can our producer pull this graphic up on screen? This one here.
God,
The
teams
teams
working
graphic.
overtime.
Our producer needs a pay rise.
Don't.
Oh, it's actually,
give
it's
it
actually
away.
a
nice
banger
graphic, just
graphic.
quietly. Yeah, it looks clean. I like the gold. It makes it feel quite prestigious. It's
Oh,
very
but
nice.
okay, so Turkey. We have to talk about Turkey. We just did a bonus episode before this where we tier listed these teams. So we did a little bit of research for that. You can check out on Shotcast Patreon, patreon.com/Shotcast. If you want to see our tier list about this. But the Turkey lineup has Lorley in it, which is kind of a known name if you've followed ones over the years. Jism, I don't know who Jism is. Long lost brother of Jizzer.
Sorry.
Jazer? Yeah, Jism.
Settle.
Jism.
Hold
He's
it
got
in,
3 M's in his
hold it
name.
in.
So, yep. Jism, not sure who Jism is. But Zagok Brait is actually a FIFA content creator. Is it an eFootball content creator? What is he, CJ?
Yeah, he's FIFA Ultimate Team.
FIFA?
Yeah, he's a FIFA man. Yep.
Zagok
Foot-
Brait, for the Turkey Rocket League player, has 3K in earnings in Rocket League, on Wikipedia at least. That's what it says he's got, which is probably quite accurate. And he's also got 280,000 subs on YouTube for FIFA. So he's just
ridiculous.
really good at 2 games. Fair play to the guy, even though they're still probably going to lose most of their games, if not all of them. Let's see how they do against Portugal.
I mean, I'm
He's
sure
he's
people
got
realize
FIFA
that.
to fall back on.
I only Googled it because I was like, oh, how are we going to be able to say this name?
Yeah, how are we
So I
gonna say
Googled
this?
his name and I was like, wait, why is there a YouTuber with 280,000 subscribers? Wait, it's him.
It's the
Oh my
same
God,
guy.
he's playing both. That's pretty cool. Though I guess the disappointing thing, which I forgot to mention even to you guys, is that in OCE we have Baz and Fades, who are both Turkish and they're freaks, and they could have been playing for Turkey. And
Oh, they could have been playing.
Yeah, I don't know. Was there a qualifier for Turkey? How'd this work?
Oh, who
There
knows,
was,
bro?
there was. Wait, no, I was thinking of Portugal. No, I don't know.
Yeah,
Off the top of my head, I don't know. I'm sure somebody in chat will say it before I can look it up.
One was a bit of a shit show, wasn't it? There wasn't a qualifier for that. Let's announce a qualifier. We're not
But
doing it. We got no time.
Portugal's got Rafa and Vadi. Rafa and Vadi are 16 and 17 years old, I believe, and beyond. How old is beyond? It's a young team, so that's a really cool experience for them. So, they qualified ahead of a Chronic to make it. Did a Chronic play, though? Or was that like an FF losing to the bot situation? What happened? What happened to a Chronic? How did he lose?
Chronic, I don't think was in
are they
it.
better?
I looked in the qualifier and I couldn't
He sub?
find it.
Maybe they were
was a
just
I know.
so confident that they didn't need a Chronic to play. His team played without, and maybe he's like, "Yeah, we'll just qual without a Chronic. This is
You
going to be
chilling.
free," and then they lose. I feel like that might have been the case because these guys they're all SSL, I believe. Vadia, Rafa, and Beyonder.
Sure, yeah, have to be.
So you probably should have played a Chronic on the team against them, and they didn't, so they lost, and now they're not going to make it.
Yeah,
He rage retired. Did he secret retire? He's probably going to retire right after we finish this episode. That's usually the timing of retirements these days. Right after Chalk,
Yeah.
somebody just retires on Twitter.
Like, oh, new
wait
Chalked
a
episode.
little
Well, now's a good time to break out some big news.
Oh, Chalk's done. All right, I'm just going to retire. Let's give that a nice new team.
And go,
And all
go,
of
go,
your
go.
rosters.
Just noticed this graphic. I was going to say it's a good graphic, but I'm struggling to work out what order it's in. It's not alphabetical.
Yep, not alphabetical.
It's just
I think it's just there.
It's just there.
Regional is Reed? No, it's not.
Not
even
really, no.
Oh no, wait, it is.
I mean,
All of the
yeah,
Europeans,
Europe
all the
is to the
Europeans
right,
are on the
yeah.
right. Turkey's European.
It's like
No,
Europe's on the
Turkey's
right,
September.
everything else on the left.
Yeah, both. Yeah, Europe is
okay, yeah.
all the right side, and then the rest of the world on the left. We've got the South American nations are together. 3 Sam nations, 1 North American. That's
Yeah, okay.
actually really kind of. I didn't realize until we talked about this how much of a solo effort this is, a solo mission this is for Daniel, Atomic, and Farskiller. They are the only NA players here,
Yeah.
and then there's a whole list of whole side of Europeans.
Rare for them
is
to be
actually
outnumbered
insane.
at an event. Usually there's more Americans than anything else. So
Yeah.
this is hostile territory. Maybe that's why Beast Mode didn't want to come. He thought, well, we're outnumbered here. None of the boys. And I think the weather might be too much for him over in Riyadh. Once again, the plot thickens as he.
The weather,
But then
that's what it
we
is now.
talked about the weather though in the bonus episode. The weather's actually lovely in Riyadh right now. They're like a nighttime temperature of 18 or 20 degrees Celsius, which is 65 or something Fahrenheit, which is nice
nice.
3 a.m. temperature if you want to go outside for some reason.
Spicy.
Then during the day, it's just a beautiful 30 degrees C, which is like 80 or something
80.
Fahrenheit. Just
Not
a lovely
bad.
dry winter in Saudi. They don't get snow, do they? Or does it snow somewhere in the country? But I doubt it snows in Riyadh, does it?
I don't even know if it
Has it
snows
ever
anywhere
snowed?
over there.
Do they just pump fake snow into the sky?
And the
I don't know,
only
the
reason I
desert's
say that
funny, though.
is because I've been playing GeoGuessr, and I don't think I've seen any snow.
Wait,
So
Alans
the
in
one
chat.
time that the Google car drove through
Yeah.
wasn't
No,
snowing,
he
so
didn't,
it's
he
never
didn't,
snowing.
they didn't drive through snow during GeoGuessr in Saudi. So
well, this sounds like a topic to discuss. Alans in chat says it snowed in Saudi this week for the first time. What? No way, 2
What?
days ago. Just Googled it. Saudi Arabian desert's first ever snowfall.
Is
Wait,
this like a
what?
snow?
Well.
So we finished chalked, and then they just start snowing over there as
They just
well.
literally, we finished Chalk last week and they dropped snow in Saudi Arabia. I mean, this is insane. Every time we finish an episode, something crazy happens.
If
even
you guys
like,
want anything to happen, just wait for Chalk.
No, nobody
Wow.
in the episode. I do not want to know what's coming up next.
Buy a lottery ticket after Chalk gets uploaded. See what
Oh
happens.
my goodness, there's actually a picture of some camels walking about on snow. This is crazy. Is that
The
is
Saudi
this
heat
real?
retired. Everyone's retiring. The
Like,
sun's going
this-
away.
I'm not trying to turn this into a climate change episode, but I didn't know it could snow in the camel-filled desert of Saudi Arabia. That's a lot of snow as well. It's not like a invisible drop of snow. This is like there's a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, unless this suspicious truck may have capsized instead. You never
You
know.
reckon they've just gone overnight? This is like the crop circle aliens. They just came and put snow on the ground. They're like, oh, it's snowed, by the way. And that's why
Oh,
we're going to
so
host the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, it's 35 degrees. I mean, come on, how can it? That doesn't make sense. Anyway, that was a weird
Wow.
tangent. Back to the actual World Cup itself. There's your teams. If you guys want some bonus content we just recorded, that'll be out next week. A tier list on all of these teams, ranking them, who we think is going to be the best. But there are groups as well, Rizzo. Do we have that? Production, do we have that? We have the...
Yeah, do we-
As long
Hold
as,
on,
as long as somebody sends it to me, production can get on that.
Production
Sounds
get on
like
that.
production could get on the group graphic as well because the teams have been put in groups. In short though, for the audio listeners, Saudi Arabia is the entire Falcons roster. You've got the obvious Itachi Nasser Ali from Morocco. Brazil is Furia. USA's Daniel Atomic First Killer Beast Mode is not going to attend, and he actually did tweet about why he's not going to attend. He says, seen a lot of comments about me, just wanted to say about to be in the process of building a home and a few other things as well, which is why I couldn't make this one when I wanted to. So he did want to go, he tweeted. Good luck to the boys and First Killer, as I know they can definitely win it. So he's building a house. Or probably somebody's building a house for him. But if he's building the house himself, that's really cool.
That's
I
even
hope
more
what's really
impressive.
happening. I hope that's what's really happening. He'd probably win our like IKEA construction competition after the experience he's going to get from that whenever we get around to it. Any other rosters we need to mention here? France's Envatira, Monkey Moon, they're kind of okay, I suppose. Rise, Royal Archie for England.
Okay.
And Australia's got Gus the Bus playing with Torsos and Fever, which is cool. No Banana Head. And then a bunch of European rosters. Who cares? European countries that are probably going to be decent, but not likely to win.
And they are all going to be split into 2 groups of 8. These 16 nations. These 16. What's the difference between a country and a nation?
Country is like the United Kingdom, and then a nation is like Scotland.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is a national tournament. So England, Scotland, these like countries are separated, and then in country tournaments it would be the UK, like the Olympics.
It's more just UK have weird shit going on. But for our 16 nations, we have 2 groups of 8, as I said. Now, when these groups came out, we'll talk about the format after this, but when these groups came out, and they still are being talked about, because I saw someone in chat saying these groups are so bad. And I completely, I can see that if you're looking at the top seeds, that there's more top seeds in one group. But I don't see how these groups are bad, because when you look at the qualification, there's 2 groups of 8. Rizzo, production, how we going on this?
Yeah, I don't know. The image was a WebP. I couldn't get a JPEG, so I had to custom make those bad boys. I just drew these.
No, they got lucky. This was a random draw. This could have been a disaster. Just going to throw that out there. Well, it could have been a disaster in terms of entertainment, shall we say, because one of the groups could have just been completely Mickey, and then the playoffs would have been super one-sided. But the way it's worked out is actually super balanced. One of the groups, like CJ said, is like very top heavy, very bottom heavy. Then the other one is just all the mid teams. So, and a couple of like,
it's perfect. So you've got the group B. You can say, oh, group B is so hard, it's so stacked. Well, it's not, because all you need to do, the whole point of groups is getting out of groups, and you've got the 4 of the top teams.
Do you want to go to group B
in one group? So they're all going to get out. You can flick up group B first. I'll show you. So
A is a Mickey group. What are you on about? You just need to make top 4 in group. B is
exactly.
You
just need top 4. Look at this group B, right? You've got USA, you've got France, you've got Morocco, and you've got Brazil. Clearly, like a tiers above the rest of the teams. So they're all going to make it out easy. It's harder to win. And this is the argument everyone always has. Is a group hard because it's hard to win, or is it hard to get out of? It's actually incredibly easy to get out of. You've got, I guess, if you want to tier list teams, you've got some D tier teams in there with these top 4. They're all going to get out, these top 4 teams. So that's honestly a really safe thing, that for a random group format, it's easy to get out. Whereas you flick over to the other side, to group A, which you say, oh, this group's so easy because there's only one good team in group A and then the rest are average. Well, no, it's a easier group to win, but in terms of getting out of the group for the rest of the teams, it's tough because it's pretty well balanced. Obviously, you got Falcons in there, or Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, clear favorite in Falcons, Saudi Arabia.
But then who are you
clear
picking?
Underdog. South Africa's clear underdog. The other 6 teams, though, like anyone's game. Any of those 6.
Every game is close. So I think they're perfect. I think one group, you're guaranteeing you're getting 4 of the top teams through to the playoffs. The other group, good luck. This is tough. Group A is tough.
Wait,
so I'm really going the other way.
Did you say one team? You said Saudi Arabia and another team, or just Saudi?
I think Saudi's a clear favorite in this group, for me. And then South Africa is the clear underdog.
Okay,
but
so
England,
that's what you said,
Spain,
South Africa.
Belgium, Germany, Netherlands, Australia, I would say are all in the middle somewhere. And, England, I guess Spain should probably be making it out.
This bad boy is going to be a slugfest.
It's not clear, though. Like, are we confident Spain makes it out of this group? Not at all. No way. Are we confident England makes it out of this group? Again, it's not like a guarantee. I think they're likely. They're probably the number 2 team, but they could definitely like have tough series against Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, Australia could peak. Which leads us to talk about the format for this, because I think we have to bring this up in the context of the group stage. The
Just
format
before you
is
say that,
go on.
now I think people are starting to switch because everyone's saying Group B was tough. I think now people are realizing actually Group A is
Yeah, Group A
stacked.
is a
Like
tough one. Yeah,
there's 7
it's
teams
stacked.
that are right there. Anyway, into the format.
Yeah. So the format is so we're two groups of 8 teams. The format is double round robin. Every team is going to play every other team twice. So you're going to play 14 series. And if you're thinking that sounds like a lot,
14
first
games,
of all,
right?
no, 14 series, like because it's best of 2. And I think they actually no. Is it like double round robin of sets of 2? They don't just go. Do they just go once and then once again? 2 games in total, or is it 2 and then 2? That's the question.
Oh,
That's
you're
a big
saying
difference.
they play like a best of 1, like Australia, Spain, then that's like Spain, England, then. So that's what you're wondering, like if they do that.
So
But
it's 2.
But they play
sets of
2.
2
Wait, they play
double.
2.
I thought it
play
was
2
they played
different
2
best of 1s.
Yeah, they played 2 different best of 2s. Is how I understood it. But yeah, some people think
that's how
it's
they're
2
doing it,
two
aren't
different
they?
best of 1s. It's 2 different best of 2s, right?
It's 2 best of 2s, yeah, against every team.
Well, it's not a best of 2s. I guess 2 sets of 2 because you can't have a best
Sorry,
of 2.
2 games, yeah. Series.
Every team plays 28 games.
28 games, which is crazy.
What?
Yeah, over 2 days, every team plays 28 games. You're going to play 14 games a day, which is actually totally fine, by the way. Like when you do
but how many
Swiss, you can
streams
play up to
are there?
25 games. I think they're just going to run everything at the same time. I was looking at the Wikipedia page right now, and they've already they've already like got the whole broadcast schedule listed here, and Wikipedia is usually on point when they have that announced. It's usually because they know it. So we're starting off on day 1 at roughly 12 o'clock GMT, which is like 7 in the morning Eastern time if you're from America. And then 30 minutes later, round 2. So I think they're just going 2 games. Everybody in the group will play. Group A will play someone. And then the next round, you play someone else. 30 minutes later, they're just going to keep going. They're just literally going to play 7 games in a row and then switch to Group B. And then Group B is going to play. Everybody's going to play 7 sets in a row. So 14 games in a row, basically, on day 1 and day 2, which is not bad at all. It's actually fine.
And with that,
as well.
obviously, it's 2, so there's a draw is possible. So they're doing this to. Well, I don't know why they're doing it, but a reason would be, they're trying to make it.
It's
One, to do a different
football
format, but also like football, there are draws. So you get 3 points for a win. So if you're 2-0, your little set, your little best of, no, it's not even the best of 2. You're 2-0, your 2 games.
If you 2-0
you get
the
3
match.
points. 1-1, you get 1 point. Obviously, if you get 0-2, you get nothing. So draws are certainly possible. I'm sure there's going to be, in Group A at least, a lot of 1-1s. I'm expecting, or at least some out of these 28.
I think a lot,
14. So... Yeah,
Wait,
that's exciting.
Is that what people were talking about with the draws? Like you can draw in the series?
Yeah, you saw a match.
1-1.
So let's say match 1 for the USA is going to be, at least according to Wikipedia, it's going to be against Morocco, which is another really good team. Itachi, Drally, Nas against Daniel, Beast Mode, and First Killer. If you were to predict that, what's the score after 2 games? A lot of people would probably say 1-1. I think that's a close match. So yeah, well, let's say 1-1, and that's when the match is done. 1-1. GG's.
Yes,
we go next, and then round 2. Instead of continuing to go for like a 3rd game, best of 3 or best of 5, they just leave it 1-1. They split the match. They both get a point. Nobody gets 3 points. Nobody gets 0. You both get 1. Then USA will go play Argentina. Morocco will go play Portugal. You just go on to your next match. You play everybody. So you're gonna play 7 different teams on day 1.
I was like scrolling through Twitter, half reading this when people were raging at this. So I didn't actually get the full context. I quite literally thought what they were doing, and I was questioning this. This one, I was like, what the hell are they thinking? I literally thought the draws meant they would play 5 minutes of Rocket League and go no OT. That's what I thought they were talking about. That's what I thought people were mauling about. But this is not that bad. That's not bad at all.
Cool. I like it. I think it's really cool. I'm totally okay with it. And there's even like potential for some really funny situations. For example, imagine going into the last round of the competition or the last round of your group. There are 2 teams who are in 5th equal, and they're both 1 point behind the team in 4th. And the team in 4th in their last round are playing against, like, let's say Saudi Arabia. They're probably going to lose and pick up no more points. Or no, let's say you're 2 points behind. Sorry. So imagine 2 teams are 5th equal. Let's say it's like USA and Chile. They're both 5th equal somehow. And then you've got Argentina miraculously in 4th, 2 points ahead. And they're going to lose to Morocco or France, whoever. Now, if one of the teams between USA and Argentina would win in that world, or USA and Chile, sorry, would win, they would skip ahead to fourth and qualify. But if they both draw, then neither of them make it. They'd both go out. So imagine game 1, USA win. It's like, let's go, one more and we make it out of the group. And now literally Chile have nothing to play for except eliminating the USA, and they just go for the win anyway.
Yeah.
Like there's potential for some real some
I think,
real big drama here, which I love personally. I think it's great.
like John said in chat, a best of 2 is useless. Now, look, I think if you just play one, like a best of 2 by itself, it's like, what the hell? There's only 2 games, but they're still playing 28. If you look at it over
14
a Swiss
games in a day.
if you're looking at it over a
yeah.
Swiss stage, over a call, but all it's doing is placing a lot more value on individual games, which I think is fun. As you said, you can have South Africa or something, just getting that one game upset, the 0-second goal, like that's a die for, bang, they get a point secured just off that one big win. So that's what I'm excited for. I think if it was just, hey, we're going to have USA versus this team, it's a best of 2, winner of this, goes through. That's all we're doing.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
So
why are we playing 2 games?
After groups, what happens? Is just like a single limb top 8?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so the only reason I'm kind of against that and like giving like the chance of like the big upsets and stuff is because then your top 8 match could be like South Africa versus USA. And then you're okay, well,
no, there's no playoff. Like the top 4 from the group will go to the top 8. Top 4 will play top 4. So South Africa will most likely be eliminated at that point.
No. But that's what I mean. If like the upset happens and like I guess it's still really unlikely that South Africa gets out of that group because they are in.
They'd have to finish. They'd have to finish top 4 in the group.
Yeah.
South Africa would have to finish top 4 in the group, and then. I mean, really, the tough situation is being in Group B. If you finish 4th, you're playing against most likely Falcons, aka Saudi Arabia, in the quarterfinal. So everybody's going to try and qualify top 3 from Group B to not play against Falcons, I guess. Try and get in the opposite side of the bracket from Falcons would be smart, which I think is, what is that? The teams who are 1st and 3rd? Yeah, 3rd might be smart. Dodge Falcons until the final.
Yeah, but, I just think
I like it. I think a lot of people are like, set of 2 is stupid. 2-game matches is really dumb, and then they just don't explain why it's dumb. Like I feel like I'm missing. What's the reasons? So many people are like, this is really stupid. Draws are dumb. Point is dumb. I'm like, okay, but why though? Why is it dumb?
The only reason I can see that as possibly bad is exactly what you said, where you have like the throw scenario. I don't know if they fleshed out the format enough. Maybe not a throw scenario, but like a playing for nothing scenario.
It's like you've got nothing to play for.
Yeah, exactly. And you could ruin somebody else for that.
Yeah, you could have a team eliminated who are playing marks, and then it helps some other team qualify, right? But that's always something you run into with groups, and the competitive integrity of the teams. Hopefully they're just going to keep sweating and try and get wins, regardless of that.
Yeah, I think. Look, if we're debating, is it the best format for Rocket League? No, it's clearly not. Like we love the best of 7s. We love Swiss. Like Swiss is fantastic. But I don't know. In terms of just like it's a different tournament. It's not the RLCS. It's an off-season tournament. It's unique. It's nations. You don't have all your RLCS teams there.
No, if they made game 2, if they were like, okay, it's going to be best of 5. By the way, game 5 is Rumble. I'd be like, what are you doing? This is ridiculous.
We're not
drop shot.
We're not just advocating. Yeah, we're not just advocating for like random stuff to be thrown in this. Oh, let's just give all the players spikes. That'll be so much fun. It's so different. No, there are some differences that are bad, but every team playing against 7 different rosters on day 1, and then you play the same 7 the next day on day 2. Like you're gonna play every team in your group in 4 games. So in chat here, John's saying there's a skill to being able to adapt in a series. Well, in this tournament, there's going to be a skill to adapting for the next day because you're going to play the team again. And if you lost, you can hopefully game plan for day 2, have a better result. So it's a different type of skill. It's not like this is a lack of skill game mode. If anything, this is like a
value on individual.
This
is even more skill. You can prepare more for this tournament than you're literally playing against 7. 7 team you're going to play. This is probably the highest skill preparation any coach has ever had.
Sometimes in best of 7s as well, you can be like, oh, game 1 warm up, but you just can't do it. Like there's no warm up. You've got to be on. You've got to be ready to go. I'm excited. Like straight off the bat, it's just And again, it's 28 games. If you look at it compared to a Swiss stage, that's the equivalent of basically what Luminosity did every single NA online. You have to go
in
round
one
5
day.
and game 5 every single game, and you still, you're still playing 25 games. So you're getting more out of this bracket, even though there's only, you're only playing 2 games per series. You're still playing an absolute shit ton of games. So
And
overall, you should be able
what's
to get the
really
best teams in.
Yeah, should we really reward, like, in a lot of formats, 3-0, 3-1, 3-2, doesn't matter. A win's a win. And I know a lot of people love the a win is a win, and a loss is a loss kind of formats. But in this format, a win is not, like, a game win is not equal to all other game wins. If you lose game 1, okay, now game 2 is worth 1 point. For the other team, it's worth 2 points because they already beat you once. So you need to be super consistent in this format, which I like. You can't have, like, a slow start. You lose twice, you've lost the match, and you picked up 0 points. Now you have to go to the next team. So it rewards a different type of skill. It's super prep and heavy for the group stage. Very curious to see if teams are going to come out with specific strats or cheesy kickoffs to try and get an advantage early, tilt the other team. Because best of 3s are scary. How about a set of 2? Very scary. You go down 2-0 against South Africa in the first minute. You're like, oh my goodnest.
Yeah,
we don't have a best of 5 to figure this out. We got to come back right now.
Game 0-0. There's just a random pinch goes your net. You have 2 minutes left to try to score. You're like, oh my god, this means a lot, doesn't it?
Exactly. You're not just down in game 1. You need to win this game. So it's a really different thing. You're trying to come back in this. Obviously, teams are always trying to come back, but this will be a different level of pressure to come back. The early round of, like, quals, best of 1, best of 3 kind of vibes.
I don't mind it. That's my thought process. I don't mind it. I don't mind the draws. I don't mind the point system. I don't mind the best of 2s. The thing is I think at the end of the day, you're still going to get the best nation, the best country, regardless.
In the playoffs, it's best of 7. It's just single and best of 7.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, that realistically, like, you make the groups a little bit more interesting that way. And you're still going to get the best teams at the end. Like, what? It's not going to... I mean, we know how Rocket League goes. You're always going to get the best teams at the end. Like, there's never that huge surprise factor. There's the occasional dark horse, but they never... Sorry, but they never make it all the way. It hasn't happened in, like, 5 years, Doesn't happen no more.
We have to pull Rizzo and chat on the draw a little bit more deeply because, like, the ability... The fact that a series can end in a draw... It sparked a massive conversation that I cannot summarize because there's too much to go into. I can't summarize, like, too well, but in the shortest way possible, the American casters don't like the fact that there can be a draw, and they think it, like, makes the entire series or the entire match, like, pointless. Like, if it finishes 1-1, they're like, well, why I've wasted my time. Why did I watch that? There has to be a winner, or else it was a waste of time.
It's not
That's
pointless.
The general consensus.
Because you didn't get 0 points, you got 1.
You got a point.
Yeah, so it wasn't pointless.
It actually is a point. There's one singular point for both teams.
And I don't mean that, like, literally, like, as in pointless, as in you got a point. But, like, actually, though, you didn't finish with 0, so it's good. Worst thing you can do is finish with 0.
I would raise you, like, imagine game 1, South Africa versus, like,
just
England.
grinding out a little
England. Imagine England 5-0 them in game 1. Everybody's like, okay, yeah, England's just going to sweep this. 2-0, put the points on the board. Then South Africa come out in game 2. Okay, a little bit more resilience. It's 0-0. England aren't scoring. And then South Africa, okay, maybe they go down 1-0, but okay, this is competitive. And then they get a late equalizer. Game goes to overtime and they score to win it. South Africa have tied England, 1 point for South Africa. That would be like, I mean, Greybeard is going to be on the rooftop celebrating. Like, they've just won our LCS, like, World Championship. Like, that draw is going to feel phenomenal. It's going to feel way better than a game win in a best of 5 that they're eventually going to lose. Like, the draw can be exciting, just not for the good team who are expected to win.
The only other thing I see about this is, especially in Group B, let me switch back to this scene real quick, actually. Is especially in Group B here, because, like, you're gonna have, after, I don't know, half the games, you're gonna have, like, USA, France, Brazil, Morocco, probably. Just, like, so top heavy in the bracket that they're fighting for the top 4 spots. But you're gonna have the other 4 teams in last already with, like, 4 sets to go, right? There's gonna be teams that are like, we can't qualify. We already know we can't qualify, but we're just donating points to the top guys to figure out seeding.
Unless
you know what I mean?
one
That's
of these
gonna be
4,
bad.
unless one of these four just gets swept by the other top three, and
Yeah,
then
if they're
they're
struggling.
fighting against
Yeah.
one of these bottom teams to like scrapping
Yeah.
out a draw or something.
Yeah, if you can like stand on top of the pile of the bottom four, like let's say Chile, for example. Chile's actually pretty solid with Raze Bull, Pan, and Davitrox. If they can just sweep Argentina, Portugal, and Turkey twice, then they're already up to what is that? 18 points. And then if meanwhile USA are getting or Brazil, for example, are getting a couple of accidental, whoopsie, draw 1 point. Oh no, we lost to all the other top teams. We got farmed by France and we got destroyed by Morocco. Then it might actually be closer than you think. And I looked ahead. The very last match of Group B is USA versus Chile. So the most interesting scenario there would be if Chile can really overperform and USA underperform, then USA Chile might be for qualification in round 14. Just 2 games to see who qualifies, because it's a 6-point swing. You win that series, like as Chile, you gain 3, and USA stay the same.
Yeah.
So you can get jumps that could be quite impactful late on in here. So we'll see if Chile can overperform. They're my dark horse for that group, I'd say.
But as you said, we can talk about the format and like we want it to be better. Obviously it's a massive event as well. It's not just a random off-season event. It's a World Cup. But let's be honest. You're gonna get the top 4 out of B. Format tick. We've got the top 4 teams going out, and then you're probably gonna get at least we don't really know what Group A is gonna do, but you're expecting Saudi Arabia to get out. You're expecting England to get out, and then once we do that, we've got a single alien best of 7. And it is what it is. 28 games in the groups. I think it just adds a bit of excitement, as you said, for grinding out a little 1-1, an overtime win from one of these lower teams. And
also Argentina Chile, big rivalry there. Argentina Chile, even if they're not fighting for the win in or qualification from Group B, they're definitely going to be wanting to finish ahead of their South American neighbors. And Portugal, Turkey, I'm sure they're not going to be throwing in the towel or anything once they get way too far behind. I think they're going to try and not finish last and get the wooden spoon in the group, because this is you're fighting for your nation. The pride is on the line. So it's going to be, I think, down to the wire. Everybody giving it everything. Not really worried about throwing in a national tournament, because how can you go home after you've done that? How can you go rep your team? How can you go rep your nation and then throw and then go home to the same nation? You're just gonna get deported. So I don't think we're gonna get thrown any drama like that. The only drama I could see happening is a team trying to fight on, even though they're already eliminated, and by doing so, eliminating another team as well, by taking a point off them or 2 points off them.
Yeah. Look, I think we can all have. I'm just going to reserve full judgment. I'm excited for it just because it's something different, but we'll talk about, I'm sure, after the event, whether it was, we're like, oh, okay, let's not ever do that again, or it was exciting.
It's 300,000. It's like a lot of money as well. 300,000 prize pool. Who gets that though? By the way, because the breakdown on Wikipedia doesn't show the prize pool breakdown. Does it go to the players? Or does it go to? Do you reckon it goes to the FIFA association? So the
no way. It has to go to the players.
Oh my god, there's no
I
way.
mean, it doesn't say it on Wikipedia. They've not announced a prize pool. Maybe like
the president's back pocket.
Yeah, the FIFA presidents all around the world are just like they're like, congratulations us.
the Obama meme.
True, John. Like a lot of things, it hasn't been communicated. Yeah, communication could certainly improve for the next FIFAe World Cup. Let's just say that. But look, we've got our groups, we've got our format. We've got date now. It's the 4th. Yeah, we've got Riyadh. We've got location. Everything.
5th of December, 6th of December group stage. Then 7th, 8th. It looks like it's going to be the playoff.
So things are moving, and we'll see what happens when it comes to that.
I'm sure they'll say the prize distribution as soon as we end the stream.
FIFA, I love FIFA. Unlike the orgs, knows how to take their prize cut. Yeah, they're just like educating the Rocket League orgs right now.
Yeah. See, this is how you do it. You run a tournament.
Paid prize money to the players. What are you doing?
We will have the lot. This is we kind of wrap. I think we wrapped up kind of FIFAe World Cup. Just the last one on that though. If you guys want to see our tier list of those nations,
we did tier list
where we rank them. Patreon.com/chalkcast. Get on there. We've also got hours and hours of bonus content. So make sure you jump on that. Around the grounds though, some other things that did happen as soon as we ended our stream last week. We just spoke about Arsenal being the pillar of Spacestation Gaming. Well, those guys are sticking around SSG, and they're going the full Team Liquid approach, picking up the snowmen, picking up the young kids for next season, and investing into the future of North American Rocket League. These guys got top 4 in one of the events last season in NA. and they're pretty damn good at the game. If I say so myself, they're actually quite
They're
nice on the
insane.
2v2 as well.
Those players
Johnny,
in
as we
2, oh yeah,
realised.
you've been seeing the ATR2s. Oh my goodness, Reveal and Scribbles taking Daniel Beast Mode down to the wire. Frosty with one of the most impressive individual performances against them as well. So yeah, they're really good. I think they're going to be. I think they're going to make a land this year. SSG have made a great investment there. Hopefully, they've also taken away all their prize money so they can not go under financially. But no, truth be told, I think it's a great signing, and I rate that team very highly. All 3 players look fantastic, and I'm glad they're sticking together.
I don't even. Who was their last roster? I actually forgot. I'm not even kidding.
The SSG roster,
Yeah.
or the one they just let go of.
Yeah.
The Hawk, the
LJ, Chicago Hawks.
Oh, okay. Okay.
and the
And,
Sad Junior.
Yeah. Yeah, they've gone for Snowman. Snowman stuck it out. They waited patiently.
Patiently
And
waiting.
Gen.G is expected to sign RMC. There was a few rosters like being tied to Gen.G in talks, and it seems like they're going for Retals, Majicbear, Cheese. We have decided to all test out greener pastures on the other side and then come back together after realizing it's just meant to be. Yeah, good to see Gen.G sticking around. That's always good.
Yeah, they've been pretty vocal, or Arnold has, about I guess the state of the scene, as has pretty much every single organization owner or member or team in Rocket League at the moment with the current situation that we have discussed.
Do you think that's going to
and
work
we will
though?
discuss further.
Do you think RMC is going to work? Because they've had some, what was it, right after RLCS, they played the Shift Summer League and it went pretty well for them in that group stage. And they didn't get to play the playoffs because it got cancelled. But they've had a pretty underwhelming season, at least when it comes to lands in 2024. And then they've stuck together, done okay in a few community tournaments. Word in the street tried to get Cheese said he's LFT. And then now he's back. Like, what's really going on here? Do we think they're gonna make it longer than a split, or are they just gonna miss out on like LAN one more time and bench someone?
There's been a lot of benching into coming back together.
It's just classic NA though, but also NA like lost even more talent this season. Like I think, like obviously SSG, the new SSG is now like on the come up. But like AJ, Arsenal. Just like losing, I don't know. It's hard. It's because you're saying like, are they going to make a change? But it's like, the question is always like, who are they going to grab instead? I feel like that's always the better question because like you could just kick somebody, but like you're not going to go pick a Alpha Cat or something. You know, it's like,
whoa,
you want to
Alpha Cat almost qualified to lots of ATRs.
No, he's close, but
he did qualify for 2 of them.
I mean,
as well,
I feel like
he's active.
You're not gonna go pick up CJ. You're
probably
gonna go pick up
grinding. Well, come on, he's actually kind of grinding.
Yeah, he's probably got more hours past 2 than half of the pro scene.
Probably,
the guy.
Probably,
true,
yeah. Actually, that's very true. Okay, there's some big Alpha Cat.
He's actually next up now. Now I'm thinking about it. I don't know who else is. Oh, the Snowmen have been picked up. So
no, I'm just saying, just an example. Like I didn't want to say me, but.
God, that's a how has someone made that?
It's actually you can't see it on the chat on the stream.
I'm actually gonna post it because I'm more. That's such ridiculous.
Oh, you can. It just broke on stream.
That's actually crazy.
It's a big ASCII Alpha Cat.
By the way, patrons, we should have some more time today, so we bed run and FIFAe. We should have time for Patreon queues. If you want to pre-jump those in the Discord right now, would be a good time. So head over there if you missed a ping and get your queues in. We can hopefully get through a few of them. I wanted to ask before we do that, though, did either of you watch KCX? I didn't watch it this year because I was out. I was busy, but I saw some clips. The clips look outrageous. Like this is just incredible. The
like
intros,
30,000 people there.
The crowd, yeah, just unbelievable. And then the series was actually really good. Didn't it go to Game 7? The Koi versus KC.
Yeah, Koi were actually, yeah. Sorry, I was gonna say, is it Movistar Koi? What are they?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I don't know if that's actually their sponsor, but Movistar is correct. That's
must be a sponsor, but yeah, they're Spanish org, and they picked up a Spanish team. They were 3-2 up, man. Series. Yeah. I might have to go back and watch that because I bet with that crowd, it's an amazing atmosphere.
It was good.
It was one goal game.
30,000 people.
Wow. Yeah, Koi is Ibai's team.
Yeah.
Ibai, who the thing he's most known for is doing the stage hosting at RLCS World Season 8. Apart from that, he's not really got up to much. I think he might have sold out the new camp at some point for a charity event, but just small stuff like that. He's best friends with Lionel Messi, no big deal.
Yeah, it's alright, I guess. Who? Lionel Messi. Who's he?
Yeah, don't know. Some American football player.
FIFA. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, the Americans aren't very good at football, so I'm sure he's not very good. But
Yeah.
no, it looked like a massive event. I saw clips of Vatira walking out, Atto walking out, and they were just going absolutely nuts. I mean, that must be cool. They're going to their own orgs
Yeah.
event, and it's like double the biggest crowd we've ever had, like at an RLCS World Championships.
What
And
kind of
it's all
reception
just
did
for
Koi get? Did Koi get good reception? Because when G2 went,
I
they
don't
got
know.
a pretty good reception. They weren't like booing them or anything. Like they showed respect to the G2 roster last year. I know they're going to go mad for the KC roster, but
I don't know.
chat,
I
how
didn't
did
actually,
they
I didn't actually
respond?
see like the
Koi.
walkouts. I just saw the.
Did
saw
they
the
boo
game.
Koi?
I doubt it. I feel like they wouldn't.
I feel like they would have showed them respect.
Yeah, because showing up to their event.
I mean, they invited them. They got applauded. Yeah,
They got
see, that's
applauded and
cool.
such,
That's
yeah.
good vibes. I like that. Applauded and such. Not as hype, but I don't think
Like,
they had
it's
stacks
obvious-
this year, which
it's
is a
like-
bit of an L.
It's obvious we're not rooting for you, but we'll clap because you're here.
Yeah, because if
thanks
they
for
weren't
coming,
there,
let's
there would be
smash
no
it.
match. So you've
It's
got
like
to at least show
clapping
some
it-
respect.
It's like like a back in the gladiators or something back in the day. Like you're clapping like the prisoners coming in as they're like, nice, thanks for entertaining us as the lions come out of the Colosseum. Like, well
but
done.
that's
Thanks for
kind of the
coming over,
vibe.
so we're gonna beat you up.
That's the ideal vibe though for a Rocket League LAN, I'd say, for a Rocket League crowd. It's just like, okay, you don't have to cheer for every team, but at least make some noise. If they weren't here, they hadn't come all the way to your country to play, then there wouldn't be an event anyway. So
I'm
you
booing.
gotta show respect to the competitors.
I'm booing,
Yeah,
then I'm
booing.
leaving an hour
Actually,
early.
no, you're right. Actually, you've changed my mind. Booing kids is totally fine. Let's just do that instead.
Yeah, boo the
That's smart.
kids. Boo the kids.
It's one of my favorite pastimes.
But no, it looked like a crazy event. Again, it's just probably more ammunition for France to have a LAN because there's
Has to happen.
30,000
Has to happen.
Karmine fans at least. They've got to. I mean, what sort of stadium do we need to have if we have a LAN in France? I mean, if it's a Paris LAN, we need. If there's 30,000 KC fans, you still got Vitality, you still got Genomates, you still got regular Rocket League fans that want to go to this event. How big is this going to be?
Put it in Stade de France. You'll sell it out. You'll sell out the actual international football stadium. I believe that. I really do. Because you're gonna get a lot of just regular Rocket League fans as well.
Yeah, they want to go.
Like there's probably at least 20k like regular Rocket League fans who can make it to France if the LAN's announced early enough. I mean, Dusseldorf was filled out. That was like 13,000 or something. That wasn't announced super early.
That's what I'm saying. Useless. Like, can you put it in KC Stadium? They just sold out the stadium for themselves. Like, what about everyone else that wants to go?
Yeah, true.
I don't know. If
Although
you can
that's
put it in their
probably a
stadium.
bit tricky though. They're probably going to try and negotiate like, okay, this side of the stadium is the KC fans. You can have the
Everyone
other
else
side for everyone else.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. It's a conversation worth having though. It sounds like a cool thing to do if they can allow the majority of the stadium to not be KC fans.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, just another great event. These guys know what to do. They're massive. I don't know how many people live in France, but I think it's an unlimited population because they just keep showing up in droves for just random events. Well done to KC though. Another successful event and a good Game 7 win. So they made it entertaining, which I think it went to 7 last time, didn't it as well? Was it G2 or something?
Yeah, G2 beat them and then
Beat them in
both teams like changed rosters. It was like, all right, that was cool. See ya. But no, they all really enjoyed that as well. All the players who've gone have said it's like an amazing experience. So shout out to KC for another awesome event, and we should definitely have a LAN in France. It's about time.
Let's do it. Let's Patreon this thing up because you guys have been going absolutely nuts over here, and I've got a first one, and it's over to you, Rizzo. Dealbot wants some motivation. He's on a 6.5 mile walk right now, listening to the pod. Can you just pump him up a little bit and just keep him going?
Look, buddy. First and foremost, I've never ran or walked more than a mile in my life, so congratulations, you've already beaten me. Second off, if I can make it through 96 episodes of Shotcast, you for sure can make it 6.5 miles. It's a lot less of a time investment. You got this, my king.
What do you mean? Just you don't like hanging out with us or something? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying, like 96 episodes, it's like 96
So wait,
hours.
is he
at
six and
least.
a half miles in, or does he have 6.5 miles to go? What's going on here?
He said he's going on a
'Cause-
6.5 mile walk, but he said it an hour ago.
Okay, so he's probably
he
in
might
the
be close
walk.
to. He said it's a walk, so he's probably finishing up.
I mean,
Yeah,
6.5 mile walk. You walk at like
Ish.
3 miles an hour, 2
80%
hours.
done.
Oh no, he's nowhere near finish if he just left. He's got.
I reckon that sounds fine. Is it like up and down? Are we hiking here? What's the situation? Are we walking on a flat surface?
The
Flat
elevation.
surface. I don't know. Just like listen to another podcast after we're
There's
done.
a bear
You'll
behind
make
you.
it.
Yeah, pretend you're
Pretend there's a
getting
bear.
chased.
What's I'm so curious about with this situation. I need to know more information. Please do expand. What's the walk for? Is it like a are we trying to get some exercise in?
Exactly. If
Are
Rizzo
we-
can stream for 2 hours, you can do anything. Exactly. We all know streaming's the hardest job in the world, so keep that in
Very
mind next
hard.
time you're on your 6.5 mile walk, buddy.
All right, what else we got here over on the Patreon? All right, who we got here? Nathan Noah says, with old NA pros retiring, do you think young NA talent like SSG, Talk, Kofa, etc., have a better chance of making LAN events? If so, do you think they will do better than the old dogs internationally? EU's always been younger and had younger winners at LANs. Will a younger NA team be the same or still struggle versus Europe? Do you reckon we get a young NA? Do SSG make a LAN next season?
I think SSG actually make it.
I do. I think they make a LAN. The Snowmen, now SSG, I think they make a LAN. Do I think they'll do better? I mean, it depends. Who are we comparing them to? Do we think they're going to do better than G2 and Gen.G did? No. Do I think they're going to do better than SSG last year with LJ, Chicago, Hoxer?
Oh.
Also, I'm going to say no. I
Similar.
don't think.
They
But I
wouldn't-
think they're going to do better than LG and OG did. I
Oh,
think they're
yeah.
somewhere between SSG and LG OG. I think they're.
Mhm.
I think Snowmen are a dark horse for making playoffs. Well, now I'm still calling them Snowmen. At SSG's new roster, dark horse for making playoffs, but I don't expect them to be an expected top 8. I think they'll probably still be rated lower than, like, let's say Furia, Falcons, all of EU, G2, and the new First Killer team. So that's 8 teams.
I think there's never been more of a, I guess, importance on just being individually good at the game. Like, I think kind of like just being a solid threes player, like kind of still holds up online for the most part. But I think we saw with even like, your OGs, your LGs, like at these international lands, just being able to do something on the ball is something that was kind of,
To be a
that
threat,
separates the top teams. Being every player on these top EU teams is so threatening on the ball. They can all just clip on you. If they get space, they're clinical, and we just didn't really see that with some of the older NA teams. So I think that's going to be important. That's why I can see them doing well if they did go to a LAN. We have seen now it's not, go to a LAN and then you shit yourself and you need to go 5 other times to start being good, like myself. Or nowadays it's kind of like you go to your first LAN. Oh, who cares? I'm not nervous. Oh, what are these people in this crowd? Oh, I'm going to play better. Like, it doesn't make sense to me, but that's just what these kids do these days. They rock up. They're 15, 16. They're fearless and they play well. So I'll be confident in them.
Yeah, and definitely a higher ceiling than like the teams like LG and OG last season, who just did not have the ceiling. You could see that, okay, they're competitive enough that if the other team's having an off day, we can have a series like LG Vitality, absolute disaster class of a series, who went to game 5. But they're not going to beat another, like, they're not going to beat a top 8 team if that top 8 team's playing well. Whereas Snowmen, okay, hold on, like, even if the other top 8 team's playing well, Snowmen's peak last season was pretty insane when those guys were all meshing. It's just, unfortunately for them, their consistency was terrible, which is why they didn't even make a LAN. Now
Which is what Liquid were back in the day, when Liquid were
like
that young team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they stuck together, and I think they're all on the grind. They're all improving, more experience. I back them to level up.
Yeah. I love this question, by the way, from Al Emoji. This is a good one for you as well, Rizzo. How would you describe the mood around older lands versus now, both from a player and production perspective, especially worlds when there could be 2 a year, when there would be 2 a year to the current circle we have now? Do you want to start on this or me?
I'm about to start crying.
Look, I think, like, for me, you're before me, so maybe I'll go first. Maybe you can add a little bit. But when I started in season 4, and it's a bit, well, firstly, it was just more of a tight knit community back then. One, because there was less teams, less players, less everything. It was smaller. It was much smaller. You had smaller events. But kind of when I went to my first world, season 4, you kind of have well, at that time, it was just like psionics. So everyone's kind of like in the same area. They grab everyone at the start and be like, hey guys, as a whole group, this is what we're doing. This is when we're doing this. This is when we're eating. We're going to have a big dinner all together, that kind of stuff. It just kind of felt like you're all in one little, you just had a nice warm hug kind of wrapped around you because it was a smaller kind of event and you had a smaller team. Psionics are obviously a lot smaller than what they are now with the Epic Games collaboration, acquisition, whatever you want to call it. And now just because we've got a lot bigger, it's a lot different. It's kind of, you go to Worlds and you're on your own in kind of a way. Like you still, you have food, you have catering, you get absolutely treated like royalty, but it's kind of in your own as a team. So you have all the kind of the French teams sticking together, or even just as a team. You have kind of the OCE teams hanging out with APAC, stuff like that. It's less of everyone all in. Like season 4, I was putting a computer monitor and PC setups together with Kronovi. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. But nowadays, kind of like, here's your team setup. You've got a team room over there. That's your kind of area. You stay over there. You can come together for catering and stuff like that. Whereas back in the day, it's like, you're all in one big area. You're sitting next to that guy. You're sitting next to that team. You can see everyone. But we've kind of just, I guess, outgrown that. But it was less of a family now and more of like a big production thing. That's my Rizzo.
Also, orgs and teams bring like way more people to events now. Like
we were talking
about like Vitality are walking about with 10 people, KC walking about 10 different people. They've got like their performance analyst, they've got their mentality coach, they've got their actual coach, they've got their second analyst who just watches replays and tells the players what the other team's going to do on kickoffs. They've got somebody's like parents are there. It's just a huge like entourage, like going to the backstage before the match. Now back in the day, it was just like the players. They didn't even have a coach. It would just literally be the 3 players.
It's so much more professional now.
There'd be one manager, one manager, one coach back in the day, and that would be it. Nobody was like actually labeled a coach until like season 7 or 8.
No scrim schedules or anything. Just like, hey, you want to scrim? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I was playing Fortnite over there, but I guess we should play some Rocket League at some point. Yeah.
Like I think you basically nailed it. Like old lands were like also like exactly what you said. It was like more of a tight knit thing, and this is also like even going to like online tournaments, right? Like I think of like ESL and stuff where people would sign up for like a 70. Every team signed up for the ESL $75 weekly cup.
Go for Rocket League Sunday Cups.
They wanted
what was the monthly money
of $25.
The monthly finals was like a double prize pool tournament or something. It was like a little bit extra on man. Like everybody signed up for that. It was that was the prestige, the real prestige. ESL monthly elite.
Yeah, I mean that was it. So like everybody signed up for that. It was a lot less serious, realistically. And John sent a message in chat too that nailed it. Old lands felt like a Rocket League convention, whereas new lands are more akin to actual esports events. It's a lot more serious now. Especially with the team, especially with the teams, because like you said, it's like here's your practice stream, you go off, and you basically don't see another team for many hours. But like before, you would go to a LAN event, and everybody would land the same night. It'd be like a couple days before. It'd be like Monday, and the event's on Friday or whatever, Saturday. Can't remember.
I think it would be even sooner in the earlier lands.
Tuesday, Wednesday,
Tuesday,
like
media
that.
day, Wednesday. LAN would be like you'd land on Wednesday, media day Thursday, LAN is starting on Friday.
But even like the Wednesday when you land, you would have like the big
it's
like the big welcome.
Big welcome.
And they did it probably till like I don't know. I didn't make season 8, so maybe they did it there. But they did it till like season 7 at least, right? I know they did it in season 7. But yeah, it was just like the Psionics team. They're like, hey, welcome everybody to the Rocket League World Championship. Just want to let you know this is this person. And like that. They don't even do that anymore. There's basically like a table. They're like, here's your
it's not possible anymore. There's too many people now. So I don't even know how they would find
at different times.
I don't know how they would find a venue for that anymore. There's too many people and the teams are all arriving at different times. And
just a lot more tight-knit back then.
Yeah. Well, if you told all the teams now, like, okay, there's going to be a dinner, the French teams will just ask, do we have to go? Is it mandatory, or can we just go to our scrims and replay reviews, which is fair.
I don't think it's a bad thing. Now. Yeah, the esport being professional is probably how it should be, like getting to that stage away from the grassroots. But it's just nostalgia. I'm still gonna miss how it was. I guess it did feel just a lot more. I don't know.
Well, the season 1, and I think even like future seasons as well, but I can't remember exactly. But I do remember season 1. The player lounge at the hotel was just another hotel room that they'd taken the bed out of and like put a couple of desks in there. That was the player lounge, and they had like it opened out to the like
Yeah.
the common balcony area of the hotel.
Yeah, they were
That
just
I
get
think
like
they'd
a
closed
suite
off.
basically.
Yeah, it was pretty much a suite, but they'd closed off like this balcony area that I think other people could probably access at other times. It's one of those like communal balcony bits, but it did seem to just have RLCS people in there. But yeah, it was a really cool experience because it was just meeting a lot of people for the first time, and it you just look around the room and be like, oh, literally everybody's here. It was all online, and now it's this person, that person, this person. So yeah, you can't really get that all in one place anymore. You kind of just see different people at different times.
Much more professional now. Like it kind of back in the day just felt like gamers trying to put an event on, and nowadays it's like
Yeah.
professional. You're going here, you need to be here at this point. It's just everything is just ironed out. This is me doing media. This is me doing this.
Yeah, it's good.
Back in the day, it was
I mean,
kind of
it's
like,
better.
when do you want to do something? I don't know. Do you want to do? I don't know. We could go.
Oh no!
I
If
guess.
if we ran if we just literally went back to like the early production, I mean, yeah, it would be like grassroots and cool and all, but it would be a cool different vibe. But people would complain and be like, "What is going on?" Because like the show has gotten so polished over the years, and now the community will complain about the smallest like imperfections in the show. Whereas back in the day, the whole thing was so scuffed, and everybody's like, "Oh well, I can
They're
still
getting
kind of
used
see
to
what's
it.
going on." Yeah, I can still sort of see what happened. They cut the camera away by mistake, but it's all good. I think a goal gone in for someone. But yeah, it was different. I think the open era like is what changed that. The pandemic happened, and then it got more professional after that.
Yeah, epic money as well, and just like we're expanding, we're going big, and then you've got 16 teams, you got 24 teams at a Worlds. It's big. You got big events, big crowds. But yeah, it's certainly two vastly different experiences, and both have their positives.
But it's a lot more. Another thing is it's a lot more like segregated now because all the French teams and players will stick together. You can see this most clearly actually at events like Gamers 8 and the Esports World Cup because especially Gamers 8, everybody at the player lounge of the hotel would just be in a gigantic room with a whole bunch of couches, and all the French players and teams would sit in one corner. All the Saudi players and teams would sit in another corner. And then you had all of the Americans in another corner over here, and then it was just like the rest. It was just like the Australians,
usually hang out together.
Australian, APAC, and UK in the other corner. Plus, like whoever else fancied a bit of banter would be over there. Then I think that's mostly where the casters would gravitate. 'Cause we felt like we'd be annoying anyone else if we
language barriers as well.
We went and talked to them. Yeah, language barrier with Americans was also super tough for us, so we didn't interact much.
Yeah, not the Americans.
Very segregated now compared to back in the day where it's just one big group.
Another one over here. This is relating to our Patreon. A couple of ones actually. One from Darren who asks, is there a chance we could see chalked bonus games? Would love to see the crew play something like Pogo stuck together.
Or like Bopple Battle.
Bopple Battle. There's also another one here.
You gotta start with Bopple Battle.
He loves Bopple. There's another one here that also is the same thing we talk about, which is asking, this is from Pinchy. Sorry, I'm ages away from this other screen. Any chance we could see some bonus eps of you three queuing some threes or 1v1v1 King of the Hill? Another thing. If you guys want to see us either play Rock, play other games, let us know. We'd absolutely be down for it.
We need a Chalked Plays channel, a whole separate YouTube channel that we won't tell you guys about. We'll just do it and then see how it goes.
You'll have to find it.
You have to find it. See how the Chalked
the Rift is calling. No, that's the worst. Guys, actually, I have to tell you some news. I did not tell these two.
What is this? What's going on?
Last night, I played 4 games of League of Legends.
Oh, he's back. This is massive. This is huge. He's back. Was it like Rift or ARAM?
It was Rift.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Oh boy. How did you
play with without us?
I was asked by a group. Okay. They were a little new. They wanted a professional in there. I was like, okay, let me hit up Helen. Let me see what Helen's got for me. And you know what it is. I mean,
you get the shakes.
I was I was like an addict. I was like,
What did you play?
I played the old Diana. Didn't have that much fun with that. And then I went to Jarvan. I was jungling.
Jungling,
Oh, you're
nice.
jungling.
Yep.
Jungling J4. I like it.
All right,
And
let's
Jungler-
not
he's
go
back.
to
Jungler's pretty
League
fun.
of
Jungler's
Legends.
pretty
He's
fun.
back,
We're
though.
so back. But
If
I
you
feel like
guys
if
want
we
Chalk
make
Gaming-
if we make content about League, we can't sweat. We have to do the dumbest thing. Like we had one of the last games I played with Rizzo in League was just where we all picked champions. Our whole squad was just champions that could put down boxes, traps, shrooms, and it was the funniest game I've ever seen. It was so stupid because the other team, we couldn't fight them. But boy, could we run away and leave some like traps behind. We're like playing Minesweeper on the Rift. It was incredible. So I was thinking when we played that game, I was like,
I was dying. I
this
was
is
crying.
content.
No, that was actually like one of my last League games I ever played. I was
It
like,
was
I
incredible.
was dying laughing. I was like crying, and I was like, it
I
doesn't,
say,
it doesn't
I
get
couldn't
better
play,
than
I was
this.
in
I'm
tears.
done. I'm done, guys. It doesn't get better.
So I think if we ever make League content, we just have to do things like that, where we come up with the dumbest idea ever and try and make it work instead of sweating. Sweating in League is just overdone, and there's too much
Boring.
competition. We can't do that. We can come up with dumb ideas though. I reckon we could do that.
Would
Yeah,
be
all right.
iconic. And,
Chalk Gaming.
yeah, about the Chalk Gaming channel. I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. I don't think I can answer that right now.
Rizzo doesn't like playing with us. He's got too many other
He doesn't like playing
responsibilities,
games. It's fine.
We're all just know that me and Johnny are always down if we're like, Rizzo, you wanna play? You wanna play? No, he doesn't want it. Yeah, so if he changes his mind, we'll be ready for Chalked Gaming. I've got another one here from Rise's dad. We all need to give a shout out because Rise's dad just got married last week. W in chat. And his wife approves of
Oh,
Rocket
W.
League degeneracy. Quote from him. So congratulations to Rise's dad. Hopefully Rise attended your
Congrats.
wedding as well. I'm sure he got the invite. And yeah, well done. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
W's in chat. Huge.
Oh, it looks like the wife's in the profile picture on Discord, so everyone can just join the Discord. Do we have a chalk command for the Discord?
Exclamation mark Chalk Discord.
Yes,
Looking
we
like
do.
Looking like a happy
Boom.
couple. Congratulations.
Yeah, we've got some bigger topics here. Rise's dad's asking about. Oh well, I look format talk. When I see format, I think this could go for a long time.
Nah,
I don't know how much we
I
wanna
think
dump
we
into
just
League
cut the
play.
tape. We just cut the film right here.
we can cut the tape right here. Rizzo needs to jump on the Rift again. So
I'm
Another
itching to
W
play some
episode.
Jarvan, so we gotta head out, fellas. We appreciate you guys for listening and watching. If you missed any part of it, check it out on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. Check out the Patreon, patreon.com/chalkcast. Special shout out to CJ and Johnny for co-hosting with me once again. Thank you so much. We will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye bye.
bye.